Afternoon, everyone. Just repeating an earlier announcement, which I'm sure has been made. If you could just put your cell phones to silent or vibrate, we'll be starting up here. Now we're just letting the cameras reset real quick and letting some of the staff slide out the backside. So with that, we will roll a short video and then introduce Edgar, and we'll get going. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can start back. Just start back.
I'd like to introduce our Chairman Emeritus, John Ellis. It's fitting we're in the Ellis Pavilion today. John helped lead the efforts to keep the Mariners in Seattle. He served as our Chairman and CEO from June 1992 through the 1999 season and was crucial in the design and building of T-Mobile Park. He remains Chairman Emeritus, a position he has held since 1999. John?
The ancient has returned. It's really been a fantastic week. And today is a great day. We finally have him here. You know, every time I think of Edgar, I think of bats. And I mean bats of all sizes and shapes. And I can remember seeing Edgar sitting on a bench somewhere, whittling away at the handle, you know, or oiling it up, or what, and he'd weigh bats, and he'd get long ones and short ones and fat ones, and he lived with bats, and after all, he should. It was his weapon of choice. But one day we got conspiring a bit, the PR people, and they discovered that Edgar seemed to particularly like lighter bats, lighter weight bats. They swung faster, and so without really telling anybody, they devised one of our ads that you may remember, the famous light bat ad. Tim? In the ad, Edgar is asked, what is it that you've been building in the workshop, Edgar? And Edgar appears holding this thing, and he said, Edgar, what did you say?
It's a light bat.
It's a light bat, that's right. You didn't forget, did you? Over the past month, much has been written and said about Edgar's numbers. 312 batting average, 418 on base percentage, 515 slugging percentage, 5 Silver Slugger awards. There are many more numbers, of course, that he put up during his career. But the number that most impresses me is 12/18/82, because that's the date that Edgar Martinez first signed with the Seattle Mariners. 36 years later, and still counting, Edgar Martinez is still a Mariner, a Seattle Mariner, and he always will be one. That's why he's so beloved in this community and in this region. That's why last week there was a collective celebration here, pure joy in the Northwest and in Puerto Rico, over the numbers that he'd put up. And the Hall of Fame president, Jeff Idelson, said in Spanish, "Welcome to the Baseball Hall of Fame, Edgar Martinez. I'll see you in Cooperstown." Well, Edgar earned those numbers and this honor, and he was certainly right in being honored there. But when you look at this area, you have to understand that those numbers don't really mean anything to us. What does mean to us is Edgar as a contributing factor in this community. It means far more to the city of Seattle that named a street Edgar Martinez Drive, far more to the fans who chanted, "Edgar!" Far more to the thousands of families and young people who've been touched by the foundation and Edgar's many acts of kindness, his support of the muscular dystrophy efforts, Children's Hospital, juvenile diabetes, Make-A-Wish, and many other items in this community. He earned the love and respect by the things he did off the field, here in the community, and in Puerto Rico. He did everything with humility and hard work. So on behalf of the Mariners ownership and the entire Mariners organization and this community, I'd like to congratulate Edgar and thank him for everything he's done since joining the organization in 1982. And I'd like to thank Holly and the Martinez family for sharing him with our organization. So now it's my honor to remember for all of us and to introduce, for the first time in Seattle since the announcement last week, National Baseball Hall of Fame, Class of 2019, Seattle Mariner, Edgar Martinez.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John, and thank you, all of you, for being in here today.
Edgar, can we put you up the front table?
Oh, yeah. Thank you all for being here today, and especially most of you that voted for me all these years. I've really appreciated the support. Also, I wanted to thank the Seattle fans for amazing 18 years as a player, and another 10 years supporting me for the Hall of Fame candidacy. The support has been amazing, incredible. Also, the organization, the Mariners organization, has been incredible. Sharing all the stats that I didn't even knew about, and I think between the fans and the Mariners organization, it really made a big difference. And I think this is why I'm sitting in here and why I was elected for the Hall of Fame. So thank you. thank you. Really appreciate it.
We'll take questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you to start with. So,
Edgar, from Babe Ruth to Sandy Koufax to Junior, how does it feel to be a member of the greatest fraternity in sports and a new member of the Baseball Hall of Fame, which you truly deserve?
Yeah, it's been amazing, amazing feeling. Obviously, when you get the news, always it's shocking, and it takes a while to actually sink in. But you know, I've been able to reflect a little more what it means, and it really it's an honor. It's a big honor just to think that I will be in the same Hall of Fame with such a great players from the past, and amazing honor to be elected alongside with Junior, you know, Niehaus, and my fellow friends from Puerto Rico, Roberto Clemente, Cepeda, Ivan Rodriguez, and Roberto Lomar. It's just amazing feeling.
Edgar, what was it like watching you get the call a second time here and then going through your 18-year career here with the Mariners? You
know, it still feels amazing just to see the reaction from people. It's incredible, and like I said just recently, it's just amazing feeling. You think about the past, all the years playing as a young player in the minor leagues, and you never think about the future, like being a Hall of Famer. You just play the best you can, one day at a time, and over the years, you look back and all the stats and all the hard work, it just pays off. And I think that's why it feels great, because it was a lot of work, but putting all that work and it just pays off and it feels good.
En español, Edgar, ¿qué se siente saber que has hecho este logro tan grande, pero no nada más para ti, sino para la comunidad latina, y sabiendo que tus padres y tus abuelos también vieron esto? And let me translate it. So Edgar, what does it feel like to know that you've achieved such a great feat, not only for yourself, but in a way you also represent your community and your family?
Yes, I wish my grandparents were here. They're not here anymore, but you know, my mother, she's able to celebrate, and she's obviously very, very proud. And the people from Puerto Rico also, they've been celebrating since the announcement, and it feels great. I'm looking forward to get back to Puerto Rico and spend some time with them and celebrate as well.
Edgar, John mentioned that you've been here since '82. Why was it important for you to stay, and what does Seattle mean to you after all these years?
Staying in Seattle, I mean, it was a combination, great relationship with the organization and also with the fans. To the whole career, from the beginning of my career, I just felt that a great relationship, welcome. I was treated really well here by the fans, by the organization, and it just felt right. And also met Holly here, which is, it was a great situation for me. So it meant a lot to stay here.
Edgar, how is the CPAP machine? And have you started thinking about your speech? Have you started thinking about your speech and what you're going to say?
I haven't thought about it. I know it's a lot of people that I need to thank. And obviously, in playing for so many years, having the skill help, but it's a lot of people that play a big role in me playing all those years and be consistent. So it's a lot of people that I wanted to thank, but I haven't given it too much thought yet. But I have a few months to work on it. The CPAP machines, they didn't work the first day, but the last few days worked, so it's good.
Edgar, is there anyone, or who's the most unexpected person you've heard from in the last week since the announcement?
I don't know. I have received a lot of text, calls, emails. I'm still going through some of the emails, but I don't know if it will call it unexpected, but a lot of my ex-teammates either called or texted. Obviously, a lot of people from Puerto Rico, and all friends that haven't talked in a while. So it's, like I said, I'm still going through some of the emails too.
Over on this side.
Edgar, you're a one-team player going to the Hall of Fame, which is kind of rare. But when you go back to '85 and '86 back in Calgary, and you had the numbers to come up, but I think Presley was in front of you, and was that, how frustrating was that then? And did you think maybe this is not the franchise I'm going to make my mark with if I don't get up there? You were, I think, how old were you when you got up? 27?
27.
Yeah. When you think back of that, what was your thinking when you were kind of sitting down there winning batting titles and not coming up?
Yeah, I knew the situation. And at that point, still, I felt, I'm going to get a chance. I didn't feel frustration at that time. I think after I came up the first time in '87, and then '88, I believe was the first time that I felt, oh, maybe this is not going to work out. Because I went back to AAA and it still hit really well. And when I came to the big leagues, basically, I didn't feel that I was going to get a shot. So it was at that point, it was a little frustrating, and I didn't know what was going to happen. But, the chance finally came. I think it was '89, or I think it was '89. But I will say '88 was the year that I felt a little frustration about it.
Edgar, you haven't seemed like a guy who's always relished the spotlight. So going through this past week you've been through and all the messages received and the speaking, how have you handled the past week and what's been the highlight for you of all this?
It's still my personality is kind of, mellowed down, or not down, but I don't celebrate a lot, and it's just my personality. But I've been able to enjoy, talking to friends, ex-teammates, people that I know, family members, with my family. It's been, that part has been a lot of fun, but not a lot of celebrations yet.
Edgar, question for you. Everybody, question from Anthony Cohen from Bremerton on Facebook. Everybody remembers the double as the big moment in your career. Is there another one that stands out to you outside of that one as being your favorite?
I think the game before that I hit a grand slam and 3-run homer, that was the biggest game I had in probably my whole career. And that we were facing, I believe we were facing elimination in that game. So I think that's, even I got the double the next day. I think that the previous day was the biggest game in my career. I would say that probably will be the favorite.
You know, you already have the Edgar Martinez drive out there, and now you get to have this in Cooperstown. Just talked about 1982 when you first come over, even when you're like a 20-year-old. You ever envision having, you know, this sort of time that there'd be a street named after you, a place in Cooperstown for you and your kids to enjoy, and what does that mean to you to be able to have that?
It's incredible, and the journey, it's been amazing. I would never thought that all this was going to happen to me. So it's just incredible feeling, and I try not to allow myself to think about those things too much, but it's still, I mean, it's just incredible journey, and I feel pretty humble and blessed at the same time.
Edgar, in the days leading up to the Hall of Fame, I know you said you didn't look at the tracking, but I know Holly does. Did she relay any information to you, or did you go in just hoping, or how did that work in the days leading up to that?
I think I heard from, Holly kept track of it and let me know, well, you get another boat, you get, you know. So I knew what was going on. I didn't look. I think incredibly, I looked less this year than last year. I think last year I was looking a little more. And for some reason this year, I thought that it was going to happen. In the back of my mind, I say, I know it still is a chance that it's not going to happen, but I feel pretty comfortable with how it was going all the way to the end. You know, it was. I felt at peace either way at the same time.
Edgar, in 2016, you had a chance to go watch Junior get inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Was that your first visit to Cooperstown? And what did you think when, in Junior's speech, said, Edgar, we've got a spot waiting for you when it's your time? How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was great. I went. We had a game there. I can't remember if it was 97 or 98. That was the first time I visited the Hall of Fame. When Junior mentioned me in his speech, you know, I felt so great. Obviously, Junior, one of the best players ever played the game. Great teammate, friend. So it meant a lot, and I felt it felt great just to hear him say that. So, and I think it helped a lot too.
Hey, Edgar, what was it like to share this with your family, and then sort of how have they helped you the last 10 years as this sort of became more of a possibility?
Yeah, that's what it means a lot more when you can share this with the family, and it's been really cool. You know, in the last few months, just going through the process, and we kept it down, not talking about it too much. But when it happens, we all knew what it means. So it felt great to celebrate with them.
Edgar, you've been with this process of election for 10 years now, and maybe it's hard to step back and look at it, but does it strike you as weird that you've been at this for 10 years and you didn't get one more hit, yet you got hundreds more votes?
Yeah, the process is, I mean, the process has been around for a long time, and I think the process worked. I kind of knew, you know, how my chances, I guess. I kind of knew my chances from the beginning all the way to the end. The process went up and down, through 10 years. But yeah, it is amazing process, and it's like I said. I mean, I think it works. It's exciting, and when it happens, it's just a great feeling.
You have a pretty good batting average against the other guys who are going into the Hall of Fame this year. How do you feel about being in with them as well, and them being together with them?
Yeah, great honor. Mariano, probably the best reliever in the game, in history. Roy, he was really tough. Even, I think I mentioned about facing him with his stuff. He never felt like it was a comfortable at bat. And I remember facing him, the way he used to compete. It wasn't an easy at bat. The same Mussina, he was a different type of pitcher, not a power pitcher, but he knew how to pitch. He knew how to get hitters out, very smart, and it's a great honor to go in with them. This is just played in the same, era, and it's just a great honor.
Anything else for Edgar in the room? Thank you very much. Edgar will be here for a few minutes if you want to follow up with him, but otherwise, thank you, and Edgar, congratulations.
Thank you.